Maganda na naman itong talakayan natin ngayong umaga, no? Today, pag-uusapan natin yung nalalapit na Baseball World Cup at ang darating na Summer Universiade sa China at ang Winter Universiade sa Switzerland, no? Of course, mga konting agam-agam pa, no? Because dito sa nangyayaring pandemic, pero ganun pa pag-uusapan natin ito kasama ng ating mga special guests this morning, no? Ernest, introduce ko na din sila. Nakakasama natin, of course, ang ating PBA legend, dating sports official natin sa Philippine Sports Commission at ngayon ay president ng Philippine Amateur Baseball Association na si Chito Loyzaga. Welcome to TAPS, Chito, no?
Magandang umaga, Ed, at magandang umaga din sa mga sumusubaybay sa atin.
Thank you, Chito. Nakakasama din natin ngayong umaga ang Executive Vice President ng Federation of School Sports Associations of the Philippines, ang PESAP, no? Si Dr. Robert Calo. Welcome back to TAPS, Dr. Calo. Of course, nandito din ngayong umaga ang nag-iisang Philippine representative sa nakalipas na Winter Universiade sa Russia, no? Ang ating figure skating champion na si Misha Fabian. Welcome to TAPS, Misha. And of course, kasama niya ang kanyang coach na si Ronan Capili. Madami tayong pag-uusapan sa darating na Universiade, no? Sir Chito, maybe we can hear a few words from you.
Well, good morning to all our listeners. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat sa imbitasyon na inalok niyo sa akin. I am happy to see everyone, even my fellow guests. And I'm sure today we will have a very interesting and fun time exchanging our information and knowledge on sports.
Okay, thank you, Chito. No? Madami kaming itatanong mamaya. Sir Robert, from PESAP, kayo naman po, your opening words po.
Yes, magandang umaga sa ating lahat ng mga guests nyo, Ed. Kay legend PBA player natin, kay Calo, kay Misha, sa inyong mga host ngayon. At sana, pagkakataong ito, ay gusto ko magpasalamat sa ngalan ng PESAP na sa darating pang mga panahon ay maging maganda ang ating participation sa World Winter Universiade at saka sa Summer Universiade. So magandang umaga sa inyo.
Thank you, Sir Robert. Misha, welcome to TAPS. Marami kami tatanong sa experience mo sa nakaraang Winter Universiade sa Russia. Your opening remarks, please.
Salamat po for having me here today, and I'm very excited to talk about our experience at the Winter Universiade and how it was like for the Philippines to be there for the very first time.
Thank you, Misha. Coach Ron, marami kaming tatanong na sikreto niyo ni Misha. Your opening remarks, please.
Hi, good morning sa lahat. Thank you very much po for having us, and it's a very big opportunity and a pleasure for ice skating na makasama po tayo dito sa Usapang Punto. Yes, we will share as much as we can.
Thank you, Coach Ron. Ernest, ako na din muna magtatanong sa ating mga panauhin. Tanungin ko lang si Chito. So Chito, baseball, isa sa mga sports na very popular dito sa atin, tong baseball. Of course, bukod sa basketball na kung saan doon ka talaga sumikat, no? Can you share some of the preparations ng women's baseball team natin para sa darating na World Cup sa Mexico, no? Sa March, no? we hope matutuloy ito. So ano po ba ang latest?
Well, I have some sad news to share with you. I'm sorry that I have to be the one to bring the sad news to you. We already got confirmation from the World Baseball Softball Confederation that the Women's World Cup, which is supposed to be held in Mexico this March, has been postponed to a later date. We are hopefully expecting that maybe it might be rescheduled again, perhaps after the Olympic Games. So with regards to our women's, we will at least suspend first our training. Again, also due because of the present pandemic. And hopefully come back again, perhaps when we have, we're in a better situation where we can have perhaps face-to-face training. No? Hindi lang ho yung women's ang na-postpone. We were supposed to have also our U12 Asian Championship, no? Also at the end of March. But this time, the Baseball Federation of Asia canceled the tournament already. Kaya kinancel kasi paano, it was really scheduled for 2020. So nung 2020 na-postpone, ginawang ngayon 2021, kaya lang hindi pa kaya. So kinancel na nila and we hope to have it in 2022. So at this point, medyo na-stop kami. But we are communicating amongst the officers and the coaches. And we're still continue planning, because marami pang ibang tournaments at international commitments kami within the year. And we hope and pray that, as we go along, the situation betters and that we can have perhaps the vaccine available now for our athletes so that they also have peace of mind and hopefully we can do the traveling and our commitments in our international competition.
So, Chito, talagang nakalulungkot yung balita mo pala sa amin ngayong umaga, no, ng postponement ng World Cup, no? And
Yes.
Of course, alam naman natin na madami talagang naapektuhan ng mga sports events dito sa nangyayaring pandemic. With the postponement, ano ang plano ngayon ng PABA para mapanatili yung of course yung physical and mental well-being ng mga atleta natin? Paano ba nagko-cope yung mga atleta ng PABA para makapag-adjust at makapagpatuloy sa kanilang physical conditioning?
Well, Ed, as you said, no, matagal na kaming nag-iensayo pero online nga, and it's basically physical conditioning lang, no? Wala kaming face-to-face. So yung mga takbo mo, yung mga galaw mo on the field, hindi mo nai-ensayo yan, ano? But then again, we've been doing this already like for the past, I guess, almost 6 months na, no? Na panayang pakondisyon. Kahit yung mga men's natin, continuous yan. Unfortunately, lahat nga tayo nalagay dito sa alanganin na sitwasyon na to. And that's the most that we can do now. No? Alam naman natin na hindi pa tayo na nagbibigyan ng approval at go signal ng PSC at saka IATF for amateur sports to come back and have face-to-face training. So we just have to bear this, no? Pero what PABA is doing now is we're trying already to prepare para pag dumating ang araw na pwede kaming mag face-to-face, kung ano yung mga practices at training protocols na kailangan namin i-implement. Just to put safeguards, no, sa health din ng mga atleta natin. But then again, hindi kaming humihinto na iabot sa public natin ang larong baseball at saka actually pati softball no. So meron kaming online na programa and it's handled by 2 private entities. Ito naman yung parang baseball 101 mo no, para sa mga kabataan namin to. And alam naman natin na sa mundong to ng baseball ang dalawang bansa na nangunguna rito walang iba kung hindi ang Amerika at ang Japan ano. So we have 2 programs that we're introducing to young kids so that they can and we can encourage them to join the sport. We have both programs, ang American methodology at saka ang Japanese methodology. At ini-introduce namin online ano. Yung programa nito, yung American Fun at Bat ang tawag nila, is managed and operated by Pure Play under the leadership of Leslie Suntay. Yan yung American methodology of baseball. At yung Japanese naman is under the leadership of JV De Venecia. Yun naman ang ating Philippine Samurai Foundation. So pareho silang may programa para sa ating kabataan and you can go online and encourage your kids to learn the game and the sport of baseball and softball. At hindi pang lalaki lang to, parehong pang lalaki at pang babae din. So kasalukuyan, Ed, yan ang mga inaasikaso natin. Alam mo, mahirap din yung nakaupo ka lang dahil tinamaan tayo ng pandemic. So we have to be creative and think out of the box and see ways on how we can promote the sport. So,
thank you for the answers, Chito. Marami pa kaming gustong itanong sa iyo later on, no? Ernest, tanungin ko naman si Sir Robert para sa PESAP. Sir Robert, we all know na itong PESAP is very successful, no, since magsimula itong mag-represent ng Philippines noong 2011 sa China and
China.
And I remember, we all know na magsimula itong and we also know na dito sa Olympics di pa tayo pinapalad na manalo ng gold, pero sa Universiad o yung Student Olympics nakadalawang gold medals na tayo, no, kay West Iso sa Russia noong 2013 at kay EJ Obena, no, sa
Vienna,
Bolt sa Italy, no. Sir Robert, can you tell us more about PESAP at itong mga plano nyo this year para ma-sustain yung winning streak sa Universiad?
Alam mo, Ed, ang PESAP, tuloy-tuloy ang programa ng pagtutuklas din ng mga manglalaro na pwedeng panglaban sa international events, no? Alam mo naman na parang sa Olympics din, lahat ng sports halos sinasalihan. Pero ang pinipili muna natin, hanggat maaari, yung may mga magagandang record para hindi naman kayaya na pag sumali na tayo sa Universiad, panlaban nga. Tulad nga nung panahon niyang sumali si Wesley So, inaasahan naman natin na talagang pupwesto siya. Ang kabutihan na gold. Pagkatapos meron pa tayong naka-silver sa taekwondo. Ngayon, ang another gold na kuha ni Obiena sa Italy ay lalong nagbigay sa atin magandang inspirasyon. So ang PESAP, tuloy-tuloy ang programa at sa ngayon, gusto namin mag-launch ng chess championship. Of course, dito sa atin sa Pilipinas. At dito pa pipili tayo dahil meron din panglaban na sa Asian University Sports Council League. At kailan lang ng January 17, galing ko lang sa meeting at Zoom meeting din at nagpahayag ang Thailand na kahit mapupospond, gusto nilang ituloy nila ang kanilang pag-host ng chess championship. Virtual nga ang kanilang suggestion. So, lahat ng ito ang preparasyon natin ay nagsisimula tayo dito sa sa ASEAN University Sports Council Championship. Pagkatapos meron pa tayong Asian University Games na sinasalihan, lamang apektado tayo nitong pandemya. So on hold lahat yung preparasyon natin. So we allowed our athletes to practice their own. Halimbawa, lalo nga si Misha at kumuha na sa kanyang sariling trainer para sa preparasyon para sa Winter Olympiad na ngayong naka-schedule sa Lucerne, Switzerland. Now, sana naman matutuloy kasi na-postpone na ito at tuloy-tuloy ang preparasyon natin sa pamamagitan ng participation natin sa iba't ibang mga palaro ng national at saka international. So, ganyan ang preparasyon ng PESA. Say Ed?
Sir Robert, itong darating na Summer University sa China this July, tapos itong Winter University sa Switzerland nga sa December, may advice na po ba kung matutuloy ito or mapupospone din next year?
Actually, ang preparation para sa Summer University sa Chengdu, China, tuloy-tuloy ang komunikasyon pero nag-aantay tayo ng final words kung itutuloy nga nila. Ganon din yung participation ni Misha sa Switzerland. Sana nga magiging maganda ang balita sa atin na makakarating dahil sayang yung preparasyon ng bata at saka yung coach niya talagang masigasig, no? Maganda ang preparasyon. So sana nga matapos na itong pandemya sa madaling panahon para tuloy-tuloy ang sports activities natin. Ganyan ang preparasyon natin para sa PESA participation sa Winter Universiad at saka Summer Universiad.
Thank you for the answers, Sir Robert. Misha, tanongin naman kita, noong 2019, you became the first ever representative ng Philippines sa figure skating sa Winter University sa Russia nga, no? Can you share to us some of your experience nung nag-compete ka sa university sa Russia, and ano ba yung mga natutunan mo doon sa pagko-compete sa abroad?
The entire experience po was very overwhelming and eye-opening in such a way na naisip ko na, wow, nakaabot din ng Philippines sa isang competition na ganito. And it was such an honor na makita. Kasi po dun sa University Village, yung Athletes Village, kung saan naka-house yung mga athletes, saan hino-host yung mga competitions, meron po silang opening ceremony tuwing may dadating na athletes. Tapos itataas nila yung Philippine flag or yung flag ng mga countries na yon. Tapos po, I remember na nung nakita ko tinataas po yung flag ng Philippines, iyak ako ng iyak kasi sobrang inspiring po and sobrang humbling to be part of that, na you see history happening right before your eyes. And I also learned po na with proper training and proper education, and the right opportunities, the Philippines certainly has a shot at being competitors in grand prestigious competitions such as the Universiad. And yun po, the entire experience was just so amazing and so overwhelming at the same time.
Misha, alam natin na itong figure skating hindi ito yung mga sports na ordinarily na napapanood natin or maraming mga atleta, no? Can you tell us briefly kung paano ka nagsimula dito sa sports nito? Sino ba yung nag-encourage sa iyo? Sino yung nagturo sa iyo? At ano ang overall plan mo? Gaano pursige na magpatuloy dito sa sports na ito?
Actually po, ako po talaga yung may gustong mag-skate ever since I was a kid. Kasi po yung mom ko, dinadala niya ako when I was younger to Mega Mall and I would always watch yung mga nagsiskate dun sa rink sa baba, nung may rink pa po dun sa basement ng Mega Mall. So that's really what inspired me to start skating because I was so amazed at how people could jump, spin, and glide around the ice with such ease. And I really, really wanted to be a skater, but I didn't get to take formal lessons until I was around 10 years old. Hiningi ko po yun bilang birthday present sa parents ko. And at first, I think we all thought na it was gonna be recreational lang, na parang something na gagawin every weekend para pang laro, para pang exercise. Pero eventually, I found myself din po beginning to compete. That was when I was around 14, 15. So medyo late na rin po ako nag-start training competitively. But it's been my life for the past few years and I don't see it changing anytime soon. And I think po na when this pandemic happened, it made it all the more clear to me na mahal ko po talaga yung skating and it's really my passion and I'd like to see how far I can go in this sport. So hanggang kaya po ng katawan ko, I'm going to be training, practicing, and doing what I can for the sport.
Thank you, Misha. Coach Ronan, dito sa sport nito, what can you say? Paano mo ba i-encourage pa na yung mga kabataan natin na sundan yung yapak ni Misha? Ano ba tingin mo sa ang chance ng mga Pilipino dito sa sport na ito?
Well, actually, masaya kasi yung sport and we have a good chance in sustaining participation in the sport. We have a lot of good artistic skaters, a lot of strong and well-able-bodied individuals sa mga Pilipino. Kakaiba din kasi yung interest natin sa iba't ibang sports. So nakakatuwa na nagkaroon ng ice skating nga. Ganon din na sa akin siya nagsimula. Napadaan lang din sa mall, napatingin, tapos parang sige gusto ko rin subukan. Tapos yun na, nagtuloy-tuloy din ako na training. Although I was also late in the game, I started becoming competitive in my college years. And I became a coach after. And then I saw many generations of skaters come in and they have all become such great athletes. We are just hoping that they could all sustain becoming athletes while being in college because in all honesty, ang challenge po talaga is kapag nag-college na yung bata, mahirap yung time management between the training and the classes. So that's where we kind of have a little bit of fallout when the students hit college. It's the pagsasabay. Pero kaya naman, we've seen a few students venture through the whole college and skating life. Misha is one of the good examples of athletes who have gone through the whole training process and finishing college at the same time. We just hope we could get more people to participate. It's fun eh. It's a different kind of experience po talaga.
Coach, itong sport na ito, we know na very limited yung mga venues kung saan po maaari mag-training yung mga athletes natin, no? Especially kagaya nga na kung ganito may pandemic. Ano bang advice mo kay Misha at sa iba pang mga skaters natin para ma-maintain yung physical condition nila?
Well, all of the skaters, nakikita ko naman sa mga social media accounts nila, they have been continuing their conditioning regimen. All of the strength training that they're doing, a lot of the rotation exercises, a lot of the jump exercises, they have continued to do that despite the lockdown. And yes, we are lacking in a proper venue to feel the proper movements of the sport, but if they continue that conditioning regimen that they're doing, just like what Sir Chito mentioned a while ago, when the time comes na magbubukas na po yung mga training facilities namin, hindi po sila sobrang behind kasi able-bodied pa rin sila. Pasok pa rin sila dun sa kanilang mga movements.
Thank you for the answers, no, Coach. Ernest, I'm sure yung mga ibang kasama natin gusto na rin magtanong.
Yes, Sir Fred. Ang susunod na magtatanong sa atin ay si Sir Fred Tasiyad. Sir Fred, it's your turn.
Hi, good morning everyone. Para kay Chito na question ko. Chito, from what I read and what I heard, yung baseball was one of the most popular sports in the Philippines noon. Siguro mga 70s or 60s. In fact, yung father ko, yung sport talaga yung lalaro nung growing up siya is baseball. Kaya lang nung medyo 80s, 90s, medyo bumaba yata yung popularity ng baseball, konti na lang naglalaro. Ang tanong ko sa'yo, from your part, ano yung mga ginagawa ngayon ng PABA para maibalik ng konti yung popularity ng baseball sa Philippines? Sir Chito, nakamute kayo, sir.
Okay. Well, Fred, we are doing a number of things in PABA, no? Of course, our stakeholders in PABA, no, which is Little League and si Pony, they're handling all the grassroots events, no, and they're the ones at the forefront, no. But as the president of PABA now, the board of trustees now, the thrust basically really is to increase our world ranking, and one of the requirements to increase our world ranking is really to participate in a lot of the international sanctioned tournaments by the BFA, which is the Baseball Federation of Asia, and if we qualify, we go to the world events, no, which is also managed by the World Baseball Softball Confederation. These are tournaments that, as young as our U12, and of course as old as our men's teams, no. And we only started the women's baseball team in 2019 because it was encouraged by the WBSC. To promote gender equality, so we put together our Philippine women's baseball team, and fortunately they were quite successful in their first international tournament to able to win the bronze medal and qualify them for a world tournament, no. And that was the thing that we were preparing, but unfortunately we got hit with the pandemic. No, with regards to our men's, we are giving our men's, because right now we don't have any really semi-pro or professional league, compared to how basketball or volleyball or football, has in our country, So what we're trying to do now, of course, we're making efforts to establish one here, but at this point, we're developing our relationships, PABA's developing relationships, particularly here in our region, with the countries of Japan, Korea, and Chinese Taipei, and opening doors, because these countries have their own professional leagues. And we have aligned and established relationships with some of the baseball teams overseas because they are also considering to hire the services of Filipino baseball players now. So that's something that we are working on and developing quite rapidly. In Japan, actually, we have already developed relationships with two what they call Japanese independent leagues. No, it's not the professional, but it's the semi-professional. Kumbaga sa America, that's the minor league. No, you can play here and then get discovered and hopefully get to play in the professional league. No, And we've established our relationship with two teams, the Sakai Shrikes and Ibaraki Astroplanets. No, they both one team plays in the Osaka City and the other one in the Kanto region. You know. These are things that we're working in PABA and hopefully giving our young players an opportunity to play at a higher level. But then again, we're not stopping our efforts here to develop our own commercial league as well.
Chito, another question. Meron ba kayong parang tinatarget na parang field foreigner na maglaro sa national team? Sa ngayon?
The PABA is open, okay, for both men's and women's with regards to field foreign players. We're definitely open. Unfortunately, we cannot have them come here to the Philippines and be based here because we really don't have anything to offer. Apart from, if they were young enough that they were students, maybe the UAAP league and the schools participating might offer them some scholarships, no, and then play for the university. But we are communicating with a few field foreign players and not limited to America, no, from Japanese Filipino Japanese players, Filipino Australian players, and even as far as Netherlands, there's Filipino Dutch players, no. We will perhaps try to tap their services once we play in a higher level of competition, say, like the Asian Games or the Asian Championship here, or if we get lucky at a world level, no. But Major League Baseball, alam mo, merong programa kasi ang Major League Baseball din parang NBA na nagpro-promote din sila ng kanilang hindi lang puro Amerikano yung mga manlalaro, pati yung mga manlalaro na galing din sa mga ibang bansa. So the Major League Baseball has a tournament called the World Baseball Classic. Actually, itong nakaraan 2020, we were invited, the Philippines was invited by Major League Baseball to participate in a qualifying tournament sa World Baseball Classics. And we were supposed to put together a Philippine team composed of our local players here with other Filipino foreign players that play in Major League Baseball, no. Unfortunately, tinamaan nga din sila ng pandemic. And I'm sure when the time comes, Major League Baseball will put together the league again, hopefully maybe in 2022. And then we can be able to participate. But definitely the doors and the communication lines are open to any Filipino foreign player that loves the sport of baseball. PABA is always welcome to communicate with you and develop a working relationship with them.
Okay. Thank you, Chita.
Welcome.
Kay Doc Calo, Doc, pwede nyo elaborate yung sinabi nyo kayo ng chess tournament? Ano ba siya? Inter-school ba siya or individual or?
Well, locally, magkakaroon tayo muna ng election sa atin para panlaban natin sa Asian University Sports Council meet. So, yun ang simula ng ating selection para meron tayong panlaban pagdating sa universidad. Mas maganda kasi kung maganda tayong mga sinasalihang tournament, and FaceUp is organizing such para nagsisimula sa amin. And we welcome lahat ng mga universities, colleges, kasi sa PISO o universidad, ang tinatanggap puro estudyante lang, hindi tinatanggap yung hindi estudyante. Ang edad niyan, dati-rati hanggang from 18 up to 28. Ngayon binaba nila. Ngayon, napag-usapan during the Asian University Council meeting na para yatang ibababa hanggang 2026 or 27. So, kailan darating yung memorandum na yon? So, dapat magiging handa tayo. So, hindi lang naman para sa limitadong school, no? Lahat welcome na kung sinong gustong sumali kasi iba ang pagkakataon na may bibigyan ng FESAP sa mga estudyante na makasali sa World Championship. You know, yung FISO Universiad na kasali ang FESAP diyan ay mga estudyante all over the world. I know there are more than 100 or 200 institutions o universities na kasali dito. So, katulad ng mga sumali, no? Na sa individual event, maliban sa chess, na natuwa siya nung na-rank siya sa World Championship na pang 28, pang 29. Ito sa diving ito ng swimming, no? Pero ang PESAP nagko-concentrate ngayon sa pagpreparasyon, ang participation mula sa mga individual sports. And chess is one of the most popular sport ni Kangay where we can actually win medal. So yun ang preparasyon natin. So sana nga maraming eskwelahan nasasali pag nagpatawag kami ng championship pag natapos na itong pandemic problem natin. And that is how we prepare for the summer Olympiad, summer Universiad.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you. Kay Coach Ron naman, Coach. Coach, paano yung paano kayo nakita ni Misha? Siya ba yung lumapit sa iyo o ikaw yung nakakita sa kanya? Ano yung story ninyong dalawa?
She has been training kasi in the ring team coaches din kami. Hindi kami yung parang kanya-kanya. Sa magkakaibigan kaming coaches, minsan nagrereto kami ng estudyante sa susunod na coach na parang, ikaw ang magaling sa aspeto na to sa sport, let's say spins or jumps or artistry. Tulungan mo naman yung estudyante ko para maging mas well-rounded siya. So, it was more of the community of ice skating that connected me and Misha together. We met na lang because we see each other in the rink anyway. So, ganun lang po yung naging connection namin. Very easy kasi tulungan po dapat talaga kami sa rink.
Anong assessment mo kay Misha? Saan siya malakas? Ano pa yung weakness niya? Or
I find Misha to be very, very good at expressing the choreography. She's very tenacious and palaban po talaga siya eh. Kung mahihirapan ang isang tao normally or isang athlete, madalas malulungkot or hindi mo na magte-train kasi masyadong dinadamdam. With Misha kasi malakas yung kanyang yung parang mental strength niya talaga yung isa sa mga good parts about her. So she doesn't shy away from training, she doesn't shy away from sermons, she doesn't shy away from corrections. She has a very, very good outlook and confidence about herself, which helps in skating because you're alone out there. It's not a team sport. Mag-isa kang tatalon, mag-isa kang sasayaw. Wala kang pwedeng kapitan. So, kailangan po talaga ng mental strength. And she has that. And it comes out in her performances.
okay, kay Misha naman. Misha, ano yung ultimate goal mo as a figure skater? Anong gusto mong marating?
I want to see po how far I can go in the sport, whatever aspect that is po, whether it be through a competition or I'd also like to go into coaching someday. But I'd really like to see it come to a point na more athletes would be able to represent the Philippines in competitions like the Universiad. And I'd really like to work towards that in how I train and how I represent the country internationally too.
Okay, sa mga batang atleta na gustong sumunod sa yapak mo, anong ma-advise na mabibigay mo sa kanila?
Napaka-cliche po nito, pero sa skating ko po natutunan yung application ng phrase na when you get down, just get back up. Because it's, there po it's literal. Kasi every day actually, you learn a new jump or a new spin, mahuhulog ka rin. And it's going to be so easy to give up, to just stop training. And it's okay to rest, don't get me wrong. Sobrang take the time that you need to rest. Pero don't give up, especially if yun ang talagang pangarap mo at yun ang dream mo. And also yung sinabi ni Coach Ronan kanina, it's important to pagsabayin po yung school, be good at managing your time, kasi also education is incredibly important.
Thank you, Misha. Ernest, back to you.
At thank you very much for those questions, Sir Fred. At ang susunod na po magtatanong sa atin ay si The Godfather, Brian Yalong.
Good morning to everybody. My first question to Sir Ronan Capili. Sir Ronan, hindi tayo nagkakausap before but I was able to write about ice skating way back in 2014, no?
Okay.
Sir, recently namatay si Ma'am Josie, a very good friend of mine. So how has this affected the sport?
Well, there will be a change in leadership. What I think was very good about how the PSU has handled their side of ice skating is that nagiging seamless yung transition because they picked a new set of leaders that is more than capable to pick up all the pieces, even if it's just, hitting the ground running talaga. Nagiging seamless yung transition because of that. She left it in a good state, which is why it was kind of easy to pick up where she left off. And they're rebuilding it now. And when I say rebuilding, it's because there are so many aspects of the sport that needs attention to. And I think they're taking advantage of the fact that we are kind of, sarado ngayon. So maraming pwedeng behind the scenes na pwedeng ayusin without worrying with the day-to-day operation since training facilities are still closed right now.
So wala pa sir mga names who's gonna take over?
We have na po. For the Philippine Skating Union side, meron na pong bagong set of leaders. President, Vice President, Secretary General, meron na po silang na ilabas po na names.
Tapos sir, medyo kilala kayo on my end. You handle Gab Panilio. Then sino ba? Basta yung mga young skaters before. Ngayon matanda na. So where does Misha rank right now with those skaters that you've handled in the past?
Just like you said, it's a big spectrum of skaters. Misha will fall under the college skaters, and she is transitioning to be an adult skater. So parang magkakaiba po kasi sila ng parang placement as of now. I would say that Misha right now is somewhere in between the younger skaters and the adult skaters, which is very, very small in population kasi madalas nga po, pagdating ng college, nawawala na po sila. Si Misha po yung isa sa mga few students na nag-college, nag-stay, matatapos na ng college, tapos na ng college, nandito pa din. Very, 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 very rare po kasi yung ganun, na nakastick po sila sa sport hanggang pagtanda po nila.
One name that comes to mind, Sir Ronan, is Michael Martinez. You were able to work with him back in 2014, 2015. What is there any update on him right now?
Well, right now he is just training. I think a lot of figure skating champions have come to appreciate silence. So mas gusto nilang madalas nagte-training ng tahimik at mag-isa. He has plans to come back and skate for the Philippines, but because of the pandemic, it's quite uncertain as to when that point can actually be, a solid and definite declaration. Pero I know that he's been training.
Thank you, Sir Ronan. I'll shift to Misha. Misha, bali, congrats na you've been recognized internationally. Right now, what are your immediate plans are you planning to take it to another level and meet the expectations in the sport?
Well, I honestly po, nung last year, I wanted to focus more on school because it was my last year in college and I was doing my thesis. But I definitely had plans to get back to training, to probably go for more competitions. Pero syempre po naudlot because of the pandemic. So now I've been working with a friend to do some strength and endurance training exercises. I've been doing it on a daily basis to keep myself still in condition. But I really miss the ice, and I think I need to skate on the ice soon para maka-practice. But I also invested in a pair of rollerblades to help me practice some of my maneuvers while sarado pa ang mga rink. So that's where I've been at recently, and um, so far I can't really say what we're going to be doing for in terms of my skating career because of the pandemic. And for now, nagpapalakas lang po and preparing, just being ready in case of anything that happens.
So I talked to some kasi medyo close ako sa skating community, no. So but they see you as a casual skater, but at the same time you're also dedicated with your studies. How are you able to balance that?
I think po it's just really time management and prioritizing things that you need to do. I didn't back in the years that I was still actively competing, like there would be a competition every other month. I didn't really have much of a social life. And then it's mostly ano lang po, skating, school, bahay, go to my youth group every so often and then repeat. Pero yun po, it's really remembering your why in the sport and why are you doing it in the first place? What is your main goal? What is your priority? So yun po yung inalala ko every time I tried to do yung balancing act for skating and school. And that's pretty much been my life ever since.
Thank you, Misha. My last question to Sir Chito Loyzaga. Sir Chito, sa baseball, kasi I know someone from there na interview na namin ni Ernest before, Miguel Salud.
Yes.
Yes. So right now I don't know if he's still here in the Philippines, but I know he has plans to play internationally Bundesliga, but he has that MLB thing. Do you think he can attain that dream with what you're seeing?
Yes, I mean, I'm very confident that there are a lot of, not only Miguel, but there are a lot of other Filipino baseball players that can really play in a higher level of competition, you know. I think Miguel might still be here. I am in the impression that he's working, I guess, in a company, Philippine company here. So I believe he's here. But I'm sure Miguel has a lot to contribute in the game of baseball. No, if I'm not mistaken, I think he was considering, I think, to play in the Pro League in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. But I really don't know what decisions he has made. But I know they're practicing and online. But the last thing I heard about him was, he's here and he's working.
Ang last yata alam ko, sir, parang meron siyang offer from Bundesliga.
I'm not sure. I haven't. That's the first time I hear about that.
Yun, ano naman. Yun. Sige, Ernest, thank you.
Okay, maraming salamat Mr. Brian Yalong. Ang susunod po magtatanong si Edwin Rolyon from the Internet Cafe. Sir Edwin, baka gusto niyo ng magbukas kayo ng audio, sir. Sir Edwin, wala kayong audio. Oo.
Nagmamadali, walang audio.
Sir Edwin,
Sign language.
wala kang audio.
1 point.
Nako, wala pa ring audio. Sir Edwin, baka pwedeng ayusin natin audio natin bago tayo magtanong.
Mali kasi tatanungin yan, kaya ganun.
Anyway, Sir Edwin, lipat muna tayo, no? Ang susunod na magtatanong si Sir Ron de los Reyes. Sir Ron, kayo na po. It's your time. Sir Ron, unmute po tayo, Sir Ron. Nako,
Yun.
hindi.
Okay, okay.
Yan na.
Okay, okay.
Umokay na.
Thank you very much,
Oo.
and good morning, everyone. Good to see our guests, no, especially Chito and Mr. Doc Calo. Meron lang akong tanong kay Chito kasi I remember in my younger days, and those were several centuries ago. Doon sa amin sa Binangonan, nung araw, marami nagbe-baseball, especially during summer. At naani na yung mga palay, So, kino-convert na baseball field yung mga rice field. Pero ngayon, even if I go to the provinces, wala na ako nakikita gano'n. But during those days, I think maraming na-develop na mga baseball players, no? I don't know what's the number of active baseball players now. At meron pa ba kayong ibang plano na maakit muli, no? Itong ating mga kabataan. So they would try the sport of baseball, which is very exciting also at talaga namang isa sa mga popular sports in the world.
Hi, good morning, Ron.
Morning.
Just to share with you some how the information. As I mentioned earlier, Little League and the Pony. You are correct, no? Before there was a time I lived in Antipolo also myself, no, and I used to see a lot of baseball fields, no. Unfortunately, it was taken over by development, no.
Divisions.
Oh yes. So, but if you really go to the provinces, even at this point, you will still find a lot of baseball fields na ayun, taniman dati ng palay at nilinis at ginawang baseball field. Particularly here in the Calabar zone, no? I think this is the hotbed for baseball here. But yes, what we're doing is if you check actually with the PSC, I mean, when they play Batang Pinoy, baseball is one of the #1 sports the kids want to play. Well, if you go to DepEd, when they play the Palarong Pambansa, it's always baseball that the young kids would want to play. So I'm still confident that baseball is still being played, particularly in the rural provinces, in the other provinces. Unfortunately lang, these programs are not directly under PABA, no? We assign it, and it's managed and supervised by some of the stakeholders of PABA, and we give them the free will to do and direct the programs so that it can encourage a lot of not only young boys, but today we're also encouraging young girls to play baseball as well.
Thank you, Chito. What's the
Thank you,
latest
Ron.
now on the baseball stadium at the Rizal Memorial? Pwede na ho bang gamitin nyo? Ginagamit pa yun for quarantine purposes?
Well, my understanding, no, I mean, I think the whole of Rizal Memorial Complex is you're still not allowed to enter, I think, there, no. So based from information I get from my colleague, Sir Pepe Munoz, who's our Secretary General, he goes to the PSC, and he's up to today. No, he's not allowed really to enter the Rizal Memorial Complex. No, he waits outside. No, so technically, we cannot access the Rizal Memorial Baseball Stadium. No, at this point, what we're trying to do is we're developing a working relationship with our friend who is based in Clark, where we had where we hosted the Southeast Asian Games. No, we're trying to develop a working relationship with Mr. Matt Hathaway, who handles the villages, and the baseball fields are there. No, there are 6 baseball fields that we can look forward to. Unfortunately lang, hindi pa tayo pinapayagan ng PSC or ng IATF, no? Wala pa tayong approval, so we cannot really play on the field, no? But those are our targets, no? And particularly, we want to develop the relationship there because it is now, we're now capable to host international events, and the place that we have there in Clark can do that, no?
Thank you, Com Chito. And
Thank you,
good
Ron.
luck to Paba. Isang tanong lang kay Doc Calo. Doc,
Yes.
ilan ho yung nagsasanay ngayon para sa Summer Universiad and the Winter Universiad? Because I think during the Taipei Universiad, marami ho tayong naipadala.
Sir Robert,
Yes,
baka pwede ibaba natin yung camera natin para makita yung para full face tayo. Makita. Oo. Yung camera po. Oo. Yan, okay.
Ayan, okay.
Better
Okay
po.
Okay. Binibigyan namin ng pagkakataon na makapag-ensayo sila. Kanya-kanya muna dahil ang panahon natin, pandemic time, parang maraming bawal pa. We have to observe the protocols and but definitely ang natin yung panaban sa sports tulad ng archery, yung iba pang sports na madaling makanya-kanyang training, athletics, pangalawa, badminton, pangatlo, swimming, table tennis, o tapos tennis, taekwondo, at saka wushu. Kasi ang potential natin sa wushu, kumukuha rin ng pwesto sa universidad. At hopefully, if and when yung our preparation for these events will be already okay, then we go on with additional sports na may sasali natin sa universidad. So tuloy-tuloy kanya-kanya muna, kaya mga individual sports muna ang inaano natin, ang pinaghahandaan. Yes, Ron?
Okay, you mentioned about tennis. Isang tanong na lamang po.
Yeah.
Isa sa magaling nating young players, itong si Alex Iyala. I don't know kung nasa college na siya, no? But have you contacted her if she would be available to play for the university?
Hindi pa ron, honestly, hindi pa.
I think she is based abroad, no? In Spain.
Pero, I
Salamat
just
po,
would
Doc
like
Calo.
to announce further na thank you. Sige.
Sige po, go ahead.
Ang
Go ahead.
universidad kasi, hanggat maaari, gusto nila na talagang estudyante kasali. At basta't estudyante ka pa rin, in the sense na kumukuha ka ng masteral o kaya doctoral, you are still student. So qualified ka pa rin maglaro. Kaya ang edad from 18, in-extend nila hanggang 28 noon, no? Pero ngayon binababa nila dahil ang college years hanggang ilang naman, 25, 26 na, di ba? So beyond that, hanggat nasa age qualification pa, pwede ka sumali sa universidad. Yes, Ron.
Ayun. Okay. Thank you, Doc Calo. Okay, I will reserve my questions to Misha and Ronan, no? Later on, para makapagtanong na si Peter. Salamat, Ernest. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Sir Ron. Ang susunod pong magtatanong, si Sir Peter Atencio. Take it away, Sir Peter. Sir Peter.
Hello, good morning. This question is to Chito Loyzaga. Long time no see.
Hi, Peter. Good morning to you.
Oh yes, here are my questions. Kung Field of Dreams, kumusta na pong update tayo sa Field of Dreams?
Well, yun na nga, pinag-uusapan pa namin kanina na we're trying to establish a working relationship nga with Mr. Matt Attaway sa sa Pampanga in Clark because he has already established 6 fields already there, and we want to develop this working relationship with them so that in the event we can either use the fields there for training and hopefully be able to host mga international tournaments.
Sino yung can you talk about Mr. Matt Hathaway? Who's Mr. Matt Hathaway?
He's the general manager and owner of the villages in Clark, inside Clark, in CDC. This was the venue for our Southeast Asian Games baseball and softball tournament.
Yes. Yung Field of Dreams, I was talking about the Field of Dreams yung sa Smoky Mountain. Kumusta na yung yun.
Oh, sorry. At this point, I really don't have new information regarding the Fields of Dream in Smoky Mountain. I know they have a small baseball field there that they put together and developed. But to be straightforward, I don't have any recent information regarding them. But rest assured, I'll do an effort to communicate with them and see what's the latest with them.
Yung sa in-impound doon ginawang impounding area kasi daw ng City Hall for vehicles. Anyway, inaayos sa community. So anyway, here's my next question. World Cup for women's baseball. Kumusta na update natin?
Well, what I mentioned earlier that the tournament has been postponed to a later date, hopefully by the end of the year.
Yes.
Because of the pandemic. So we have informed everyone, and it is one of the purposes why I came over is to inform also our friends from media that though the women's were preparing for the said tournament, unfortunately the WBSC had to postpone the tournament to a later date.
When were you informed by this?
I think we were informed. If today is Thursday, I think we got the information Monday. I think Monday.
That's from the WSBC.
The WBSC.
The WBSC Secretary General.
No, not the Secretary General. Actually, it was Sir Pepe Munoz who got a call actually from the NOC from Mexico, and who is a member of the WBSC organizing group that that called him directly to inform him that it was postponed.
Yes. Okay. So for later date na po ito, yes. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, virtual training muna tayo.
Yes, we have to again, go on a rest again or a break. We want to keep them safe. Most of them are in the provinces, and we want to keep them there, until we tell them to come over to Manila to train. But at this point, they're better off there. They're with their families. And they're safe and secured there where they are.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir, for the update on what happened to the World Cup. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for those questions, Sir Peter Atencio. Ang susunod, ang nagbabalik na si Boss Edwin Rolyon. Boss Edwin.
Nakamute pa rin.
Yan, unmute kayo, sir. Unmute lang. Boss Edwin, unmute kayo. Yan.
Okay na. Yun. Good morning. Good morning sa inyo lahat. Chito, good morning po sa mga bisita natin. Pasensya na. Kasi inagawan ko lang tong bata rito sa computer shop eh. Nagdodota eh. Kaya hindi pa ready yung... So okay na, okay na.
Loud and clear, loud and clear.
Okay, ang question ko syempre kay Chito. Chito, good morning po. Thank you for sa guesting nyo rito sa atin. Yung tanong ko lang po, kapag sinabi kasing Blue Girls, pertaining do sa women's softball, ewan ko lang kung hindi ako nagkakamali. Nung binuo nyo po yung women's team natin sa baseball, right now po, since na nabuo, ano na po ba ang na-achieve nila at ano na po yung mga programang ipinus ninyo para makilala sila ng sambayanan na hiwalay dito sa softball Blue Girls?
Ganito kasi ang nangyari lang, Edwin. Again, inumpisahan lang namin talaga yung women's baseball team noong 2019. And we started around middle of 2019 only to participate nga in the Asian Championship sometime end of the year, mga November, end of November ata yun. And yun na nga, sinerte tayo at maganda ang pinerform nila, maganda ang pinakita nila at nanalo nga sila ng ng bronze medal to qualify nga for the World Tournament in November also sana of last year, 2020. We were supposed to start our training as early as first quarter of 2020, and we've gone to the PSC, spoke to Chairman Ramirez, si Com Mon Fernandez, si Com Charles Maxi, and we already had an agreement on preparing on how the girls would do their training in preparation for the World Cup. Kaya lang, ito na, tinamaan tayo ng pandemic and everything got na-cancel lahat, But to share lang with you what the program was or what their intentions were, particularly with Chairman Ramirez, he wanted nga for us to make a road show and go around in the provinces to introduce all the our women baseball players para makilala sila, So that was part of the plan, We were designated certain areas, the key cities around the Philippines, so that they can be introduced and get known, and to encourage the sport of baseball, particularly for the women. And then, hopefully, he even told us that they will seriously consider an international training program just before we go for the competition, and our friends from Japan were more than willing to offer us a training venue and a training program for us to prepare, for the. But again, lahat ito na put on hold dahil nga sa pandemic, and and today this is where we are, still hoping that they can participate at that World Cup.
Kumusta naman po yung allowances ng mga players natin kahit na again, pandemic? Tuloy pa rin ba sila? At saka anong balita natin sa SEA Games?
Well,
tayo?
Right now, alam mo naman, everybody knew that the PSC had to cut nga, the allowances of the players. But fortunately, si President Bambol was able to lobby in Congress to also allocate yung bayanihan natin law that was passed. And nabalik naman lahat yung kanilang mga allowances from for the whole of 2020, and this coming 2021, of course, we had to submit again all the names of our national players. I-update natin lahat ng mga pangalan nila. So nasubmit na namin sa PSC, and we expect PSC to continue with their allowances. So walang problema tayo dyan. And what was the last question?
Regarding Vietnam SEA Games, Com.
Also,
balita niyo?
Vietnam, no. We won't have any baseball nor softball in Vietnam. Hindi naman sa mayabang tayo. Medyo takot sila sa atin.
Asian big timer tiyatalo natin eh.
Well, yun na nga. I think, I'm very happy that, the Philippines, both in softball and baseball, we're the dominant player here in Southeast Asia. So a lot of our Asian countries look up to us. They also ask for help from us, and we more than willing want to help them because we want them to also lift their game, no? So that para may competition din, But nasanay na rin tayo na parati nating kalaban yung three of the top 5 countries in the world, which is Japan, Chinese Taipei, and Korea. So parang nasanay na yung Philippine player, hindi na natatakot pag nakaharap sa mga manlalaro na to.
Thank you, Com. Thank you, Com. My next question kay Dr. Calo. Thank you, Com. Kay Dr. Calo naman.
Yes.
Doc.
Morning. Yes.
Tanong ko lang po, ang una ko pong tanong is kung related kayo kay Dr. Calo na dating PSC Executive Director. Kay Lucrecio Calo. Related po ba kayo?
Pinsan.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Yes.
Doc, ang tanong ko po, during that time ni Congressman Cuangco sa POC, alam naman natin na ang FESAP hindi recognized. Hindi nire-recognize ng POC ni Mr. Piping Cuangco. That's why, kaya hindi nabigyan ng incentive si Wesley So nung mag-champion siya dyan sa Universidad na naging leading to his decision to go to US and iwan ng Pilipinas. So far po, na bago ang presidente ng POC, ano na ho ba ang katayuan ng PESAP sa POC? O meron ho ba kayong programa o itinutulak para i-recognize kayo ng POC? Although alam naman namin na hindi nyo kailangan yung maging recognized ng POC, pero any plan or meeting na nagyayari para mabigyan kayo ng recognition ng POC this time with the new leadership?
Salamat sa tanong.
Medyo mahina ang
Ayan, maganda.
Yung internet ni Dr. Calo.
Actually, mahina ba? Mahina.
Tuloy lang po. Meron po.
Well, nakipag-usap na kami kay Chairman Ramirez, PSC, tungkol dyan sa possible organization once it is affiliated with international organization like FISO, Federation Internationally do Sports University or International Sports Federation, ay dapat magbibigyan ng suporta ng PSC as a funding institution ng sports natin. Yes. Pero hanging pa rin eh. At totoo yung sinasabi mo, despite the fact na hindi binibigyan ng funding ng PSC, we still have to go on. Kasi mga manglalaro ito na marami mga talento galing sa SQA, sa iba-ibang organisasyon, kasi bibigyan natin pagkakataon yung iba pang manglalaro na makasali hanggang sa World Championship. So, nagpapasalamat ako na may mga taong, kung tawagin natin, mga organization, NGO, na tumutulong sa pagbibigay ng ayuda sa mga participation during training at saka ganun din sa mga requirements na hinihingi ng International Federation. So, hopefully, magkakaroon tayo ng recognition naman from the PSC na magpapasalamat ng gusto ang PESAP dyan In fact, halimbawa, bibigyan ko na ng magandang halimbawa, si na-miss ni Wesley So, yung tulong ng PSC, panahon ni Pipin Kuhangko, dito sa panahon ni Cheman Ramirez, nabigyan ng tulong si Obiena. So, at saka kasali din siya sa Napoli, Italy. Laking pasasalamat namin na nabigyan siya ng pansin ng PSC. Merong suporta, financial support, at meron din siyang tuloy-tuloy na suporta hanggang sa preparasyon niya para sa Olympics. Hopefully, we're looking forward to that.
Okay. Thank you, Doc Calo. Okay na ako, Ernest.
Okay, thank you very much. Itong si Boss Edwin from the internet cafe of Dota. But anyway, bago tayo pumunta sa next reporter na magtatanong na si Sir Vince Wico, maybe request everyone to turn on their cameras kasi po si Sir Ronan aalis po ng 11:30. We will have our picture taking po sandali, no, para natin para sa ating para makita sa dyaryo ang ating mga muka sa magandang paraan. Everyone po, yung cameras po natin, Sir Dennis, Sir Peter, no? Yung cameras po natin. Okay? And one Sir Dennis Roa. Paano po? Wala pa. Okay, and 1 2 3, smile po tayo. Okay, thank you very much. At yan po ang natin, ang group photo natin for the week. We now move on to our next reporter na magtatanong si Sir Vince Wico. Sir Vince, take it away.
Thank you, Ernest. My question is for Mr. Loyzaga. Sir, good morning. My question is, I read an article a few years ago. There were at least two Filipino-American Major League Baseball players who were considered for the team. I don't know if they were interested or if they were ever interested. And I just want to say that it was unfortunate that there was one Filipino-American Major League player. His name was Tim Lincecum, who used to pitch for the San Francisco Giants. He expressed his non-interest in playing for the country. So was this true that there were two Filipino-American Major League Baseball players who were considered before?
Sir Chito, yung mic po natin nakapatay po. Yan, from the beginning po tayo.
My apologies. I will try to recall what I know about that topic during that time. No? Normally, Major League Baseball, when they put together the World Baseball Classic, they sent a lot of invitations to Filipino foreign players playing in Major League Baseball. And since they are part of the league, they try to encourage them to join the national team that will be formed. No? Some of them can clearly decline and say that they're not interested, and they have their own reasons. No, alam mo naman pag Major League Baseball, malaki na yung mga kontrata dyan. Parang mga NBA players din yan. Pag sinabi mo you want them to play somewhere else, they can easily say no. I think with regards to Mr. Lincecum, I think he was offered to play, but I think he also declined. You may be correct. No, I'm not sure, but I sense that you may be correct. About the other one, I think the other one was Gino Espinelli. He's also I think he's from Batangas. I think, but he's not Filam. He's pure Filipino, I'm not sure whether he played, but I know he came over to Manila and was a guest also by Baseball Philippines during that time. But again, these players already, I guess, have retired from the game. I'm not sure whether they crossed over and is part of a coaching staff or anything. No, but one of the just last year, no, when we were preparing to participate in the qualifying round for the Major League Baseball for World Baseball Classic, it came out in the newspapers that what's his name, Tim Tebow. I mean, he was born in the Philippines.
Yes.
And he was willing to play, and he's still up to this day, no, willing to play for the Philippine team, who will participate in the World Baseball Classic. Today, as we speak, again, Major League Baseball gives us the list of everyone that has Filipino lineage of all the players, and we basically have to, just communicate and ask if they're interested. If they say no, then we move forward to the next one. We don't force anyone because, of course, I want to always give also our local Filipino players the opportunity to play at that level, and in that kind of competition. And it's so nice that Major League Baseball has put that together. Parang kumbaga sa football, parang World Cup ng football yan, no? All the professional leagues everywhere around the world stop, and everybody goes to their respective countries and play for the countries, Kaya lang doon talagang seryoso ang football, no? With baseball, though it's serious also, of course, siyempre, always ang favorite dyan, America and the South American countries, and of course, Japan, Korea, and Chinese Taipei.
Last question, sir. In what aspects of the game has the US, Japan, and the other countries been helping us so far? Is it in batting, pitching, defense? In what aspects of the game have they been very helpful to us?
Well, right now, two of our stakeholders in PABA are offering the methodology of American baseball, and igual again the methodology of Japanese baseball. And we have two organizations. One is Pure Play, headed by Leslie Suntay, who offers Fun at Bat. And then we have JV De Venecia from the Philippine Samurai Foundation, who also offers the Japanese methodology of baseball as well. That's for the young kids, and again, so that we encourage them to pick up the game of baseball, and now not limiting it to just the boys, but even the girls. Right now, what we're trying to do is just establishing relationships with professional baseball teams in both Japan, Korea, and Chinese Taipei, and explore the possibility on how our national players, particularly the men's, can try out and try their luck, and maybe be able to join the professional league in those countries. With regards to the women's, we are in close communication with the Japanese Baseball Federation and with the leadership of Miss Hiroko Yamada. She is an officer of the federation and the lead person with regards to women's baseball, and she is open to helping the Philippines. As the particular aspect of the game, wala naman talaga. It's just the overall knowing the game, understanding the game, and playing it with your passion.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Sir Vince. At susunod na magtatanong na dito si Ivan Saldaheno, who is also celebrating his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Ang layo pa. Okay, anyway, good morning everyone. So, ayun. Okay, my first question, good morning. My first question is for Misha actually. Kasi, ito, although you're preparing for the Universiad, are you also preparing yourself for the SEA Games kung sakasakali? Are you open to joining them sa Hanoi?
Hi Misha, please unmute para yung ano natin.
Ayaw, sagutin si Ivan in short.
Okay, sorry. Nag-hang po yung computer.
Ganyan talaga pag si Ivan nagtatanong, may mga na yun.
Could you repeat the question? Wait lang po, nag-hang yung computer ko.
Ivan, ulitin mo daw yung tanong, di naintindihan.
Sign yan, Ivan. Sign, Ivan. Bad question.
Uy, hindi ha. Ang layo. Actually, I'm asking if are you open to joining the Philippine team sa SEA Games kung sakasakali?
Oh, right now po, my immediate goal is really to just get back on the ice muna and see how it goes from there. Because honestly po, it's been over a year since I last stepped on the ice. I'd really like to see po muna how I can get back and how I can, if I can still do my jumps and my spins.
So, paano yung training? Gradually lang as in, like, for example, siguro mga 1 hour muna, 2 hour for medyo mag-full below eventually?
Well, I think I would have to discuss with my coach, si Coach Ronan, but I think it would be gradual at first kasi syempre po hindi po dapat biglain yung training kasi baka ma-shock yung body. But we've also been doing off-ice naman po, and I've also been doing strength and endurance training. So I don't think it would be that difficult of a transition as one would expect after being sedentary for over a year.
Thank you so much. So my next question is for Sir Chito. Sir Chito, you mentioned earlier that parang you're also considering having a club league. Pero right now, due to the pandemic, ang rule is kailangan professional talaga as in yung liga just for the to continue. So if in case you already decide we should have a new league for baseball, are you open to working with Gab for this? Sir Chito? Ang niya. Charot.
May nangyayari talaga, Ivan, kapag ikaw nagtatanong.
Grabe! Agad-agad.
Ano ba next question?
Yeah. Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. Anyway, our intention in PABA is not really to go professional, but we were really thinking of just putting a commercial league that would invite, and we would invite particular teams to participate. The PSC has helped us during 2019 to put these leagues together, and we're trying to hopefully when the situation is better that we can do it again. But it really encourages the younger players to have a venue where they can continue the skills that they have for baseball. Karamihan kasi pagkatapos ng UAAP, wala na silang mapuntahan eh. So we're trying to put that and bring it back, and hopefully once the situation gets better, we'll be able to do it again.
Ivan, ano lang konting interruption lang At ano lang aalis si Miss Misha at saka si Sir Ronan. Nawala na yata si Sir Ronan. Sir Ed, bigyan lang natin ng final words and parting messages itong si Misha. Misha?
Yes, please, Misha, your parting remarks.
Mhm.
Gusto ko lang po ulit magpasalamat na binigyan niyo po ako ng opportunity, buong TOPS po. It was an honor to meet all of you, also you, Sir Chito. Thank you po for
Thank you.
having us here today and for letting us share our story of our skating. Thank you for letting us share the story of the Universidad, and hopefully marami pa po kaming maikwento in the future. Salamat po.
Thank you, Misha. Ernest, meron pa mga questions yung mga
Ayan.
ibang kasama natin?
Si Ivan may na-interrupt siya.
Ako may stock tanong kasi yun nga.
Si Sir Ronan pa, Ernest.
Ay,
Si Sir Ronan, nandyan pa ba?
Wala.
Nawala. Ay, Sir Ronan, ayan, Sir Ronan. Si Ivan talaga kapag nag-i-interview may nga nangyayari. Okay, Sir Ronan,
Yes,
yung
sir.
parting messages po natin.
Guys, thank you very much for having us. We are sorry that we have limited time, but we would like to invite you guys to come and skate with us kapag bukas na po yung ice skating. Hindi po kasi limited yan sa mga bata lang. We have a lot of adult skaters, and actually that's another venue na tinatry naming buksan is magkaroon kami ng participation sa mga adult championships all over the world. But as far as Misha and I are concerned, we are looking forward to the reopening of the rink and training once again because it was a very fun experience yung Universiad namin sa Russia, and we hope to be able to represent the Philippines in future competitions and inspire younger generations to take the sport and to continue the legacy of ice skating for the country. Syempre always for the country and for God.
Thank you, Coach Ronan.
Thank you, Coach Ronan. Maraming salamat sa binigay na oras sa TOPS Usapang Sports, and hopefully we can get the entire skating team for a special interview with the Godfather, Brian Yalong. No. But anyway, Ivan, siguro okay ka na.
Pwede na siguro, no? Ayun. So my next question to Sir Chito, okay, since you already mentioned the Women's World Cup, the Baseball Classic, if in case the final dates have been announced, are you gonna convene them possibly to a bubble to continue training? Or what's gonna happen? Just in case.
Well, before it was canceled, we were seriously considering putting a bubble setup. No, siguro as early as last December of last year, we were already thinking about that. No. And when the PSC came out with the announcement that they would be setting also a bubble setup for some of our athletes that would participate in qualifying events for the Olympics, medyo nabuhayan kami na, baka naman pwedeng we will follow the same health protocols that the PSC and the IATF has established there at in Calamba. And that we can explore the possibility of the women's to just join and also stay there and practice. No, it was something that PABA had forwarded, the information had forwarded to the PSC, but again, I told si Commissioner Charles Maxi na, I said, we just have to wait for a while until we get really a confirmation from the WBSC, kung matutuloy nga o ina. And unfortunately nga, sinabihan nga kami na hindi matutuloy. So, sinabihan ko si Com Maxi na we will not push through with the bubble setup, and it's fine. We will not be joining, and the postponement most likely will, I said, if and when they will reschedule the tournament, it might be maybe after the Olympics. So it's like the fourth quarter of the year, no. And if we reach there, I'm hopeful that our athletes should have been given the vaccines already, so that we can perhaps practice face to face even before that time comes, the tournament. I mean.
Okay, so one last question. Okay, so you mentioned earlier about Team Tibo that you said earlier that he still competed. So assuming that the final date for the baseball class will be revealed, when will we expect Team Tibo to maybe come here to the Philippines to train?
Well, unfortunately, one of the process to when it comes to practicing, as I said, Major League Baseball is the one managing this, this tournament, and definitely we're not going to see it happen this year. Most likely, again, when things normalize, maybe sometime, maybe first quarter of next year. But should they extend the invitation to us again and invite the Philippines to participate, I'm confident that Tim is going to join the team. Now, whether he's going to come to the Philippines is another story, because if the games are in America, I think it will be the other way around. I think it's the Philippine players that would have to go to America and participate there, and practice and train there. That's the setup there. Perhaps that in the event that we're able to develop some relationship with him, we might extend an invitation to him if he's open, and when his schedule permits to come and visit the Philippines, under an invitation perhaps by PABA.
Thank you, Sir Chito. Thank you, Ernest. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you, Vin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ivan. Happy birthday.
Okay, thank you very
It's
much,
not just my birthday. It's
Ivan.
in April.
April pa.
At anyway, thank you very much, Ivan, for those questions. Susunod na magtatanong po si Sir Danny Simon. Sir Danny, unmute po tayo para makapagtanong na tayo ngayon. Sir Danny? Hello, Sir Danny? Hello, Sir Danny? Wala pa pong sound. Hello, Sir Danny? Move forward muna tayo, sir. Kay Gerard Arce muna tayo. Sir, Gerard, pwede muna kayong magtanong, Gerard.
Yes, boss. Thank you, Boss Ernest. Nawala si Sir Danny. Ayun. Good morning po sa lahat. Sir, ano po muna ang question ko kay Sir? Hello?
Okay, go ahead, Sir Gerard.
Sir Chito, hello po. Good morning po ulit.
Good morning, Gerard.
Sir Chito, yung isang player pala, isang Phil-Am, si Riley Ornido. Yun.
Okay.
Parang kung gusto kasama pa siya sa team or magta-tryout pa rin siya?
I'm not sure, Again, because the qualifying tournament was postponed. Again, it will really depend on their availability. Kung kunyari may schedule ulit yan by kunyari March 2022, we would have to communicate with everyone again, and ask them if they're available to play for the Philippine team, for the World Baseball Classic. Doon lang natin malalaman kung okay silang maglaro o hindi. At this point, para tanungin natin siya, masyado pang maaga, baka may mga ibang commitments yung mga ibang mga manlalaro.
Next question po. Regarding dun sa kasi nabanggit nyo kanina, parang meron tayong place sa The Villages, yung pinagganapan ng SEA Games last 2019. Kasi ngayon, kung mapapansin nyo, sir, parang halos lahat ng ball games nagpo-pro. Yun na, yung football, siyempre, basketball, football, volleyball. Kayo, sir, wala bang any chance na lalapit tayo sa GAB to seek for na magkaroon, kasi marami naman tayong baseball players dito sa Pilipinas. So marami ring pwedeng team. Kasi 'di ba sir, meron tayo ng Philippine Baseball League. 'Di ba pwedeng
Yeah.
i-convert siya sa Pro League, gawin siyang yung Pro League ng Philippine Baseball?
Well, there are always possibilities, Gerald. Ngayon, ang sa akin lang, bilang isang manlalaro at who understands sports, before we enter into something like that, we have some things to consider. No? Sa akin, number one, facility. Saan natin ilalaro to, di ba? Of course, as we speak today, Rizal Memorial is the best place to host it, no? But again, ang tanong nga natin is Rizal Memorial in the state where it can host already, no? Dahil siyempre ginagamit pa ng gobyerno natin yan ngayon at nakasarado and we still have the pandemic. But if we can put Rizal Memorial in a in a level where we can even host not only a maybe professional league but host even international goodwill games against other countries. Maganda yan and it will help the sport, no? But the way I see it, if we do not have a proper venue that's of international standard, mahirap naman na magpapatayo tayo ng isang professional league pero wala naman tayong venue na mailalaro yung liga natin. Mahirap mangyari yan. I mean, it's not like basketball. Madaling gumawa ng magandang venue para lahat ng mga paliga natin ng basketball may malalaruan.
Yung sa The Villages ba sir, hindi pwede? Hindi pwedeng
Well,
gamitin?
pwede siya. It's a private privately owned. We can have it there. Because it's also not managed by us. We would have to negotiate, and again, of course, scheduling will be something to be discussed. If they can allow us a certain time of the year that we can use it. Tandaan mo kasi, Pards, baseball open yan di ba? Pag tayo, alam mo naman ng Philippines, half of the year umuulan, siyempre we have to take that into consideration, di ba? And sana kung pareho lang ng basketball na naka-covered yan, di okay lang kahit anong ulan at bagyo pwede tayo maglaro, di ba? But we are seriously considering to come into an arrangement or a working agreement with the villages. Hopefully, we're very positive that we can have a very good arrangement, not only for international tournaments, but perhaps a good baseball league, whether it's professional or just commercial.
Sayang kasi sir, para mapanatili natin yung grassroots natin, tsaka maganda kasi yung meron tayong sariling pro league. Para mga bata natin talaga. Kasi pinapayagan yung mga professional ngayon sa panahon ng pandemya. Napapayagan yung mga professional. So baka lang.
Yes, ang akin lang actually, kailangan lang talaga marami na tayong mga bata na naglalaro ng baseball What we have to offer them is something that they can aspire to play in, di ba? Kung magkakaroon tayo ng ligang na maganda, whether it's professional or not, at least they have something to aspire to go to and participate in habang bata pa sila. Pero kung wala naman silang mapupuntahan, kawawa rin naman din sila, di ba?
Sir, yung third question po, sir, regarding po dun sa ating women's sa baseball team.
Yes.
Tuloy pa rin ba natin kukuha tayo ng player sa mga softball players natin? Kasi normally, parang consist of softball women siya tayong ating mga baseball players for World Cup. Meron ba tayong other plans para makabuo tayo ng sariling, sabihin natin, baseball women's team talaga na binuo ng PABA?
Well, ito naman yung women's baseball team natin, talaga binuo naman namin yan. Ano? Again, the way we handle it in PABA is we extend an invitation. There are open tryouts, and we saw some women that came as far as Mindanao and in the Visayas that came and tried their luck. No? At this point, as we speak, the pool of players that play baseball is very, very shallow. A majority of the players were really softball players while they were young, and they now, since there's an opportunity to play baseball, they have crossed over now and tried to learn the game of baseball. So masyadong mababaw pa yung yung pool natin. So we open it to practically all the female softball players who want to explore. No, at this point, the program is in a developmental phase dahil kaumpisa lang natin, but we hope that we can encourage younger women to pick up the game. That's why we have already established some programs which are managed by our stakeholders to introduce the game at a very young age para ngayon pa lang alam nila that they already have they can aspire to become part of the Philippine women's baseball team. No?
Yun. The last question, sir, sa inyo po. If ever po matuloy po yung World Cup, sir, ng women's and men's, sa tingin niyo, sir, mga anong position tayo for the women's and the men's? Anong expectation ninyo na anong mararating natin dun?
Well, ako, again, as I said, the program is in the developmental stage, but if the World Cup pushes through, you're talking about participating or playing against 11 of the 12 top countries in the world. Pag sinabi kong 12, kasama na yung Pilipinas dun. So, if we can even finish in the top 10, maganda na yan. And if we can, finish in the top 10 of when it comes to world ranking, maganda ng achievement yan for a very young, program that PABA has put together. No? We have very good potential players. We have very good opportunities. Sa women's baseball kasi, partner, ang nakakalamang lang talaga dyan ng Japan at saka Amerika dahil matagal na rin yung programa nila. No? Pero I would still favor more Japan. No? Kahit yung Amerika hindi pa kasing hasa ng mga Japanese players. But and everybody practically is almost in the same level. Kaya magandang opportunity sa atin yan to take advantage. Habang maaga pa lang, we can put programs together, we can improve the players, and we can open it to others to participate in. And hopefully, with the proper training and the proper support, we can always participate at the world level.
Yun, thank you, sir. Kasi ang ganda na ng ranking natin kasi simula lang 11 agad women's Kaya maganda. Yan po. Thank you po, Sir Chito.
Salamat, Gerald.
Sir, Boss Ernest, pwede bang makitawid kay nasaan ba si Sir? Sir Milton? Sir Robert? Nasaan pa po ba Sir Robert? Ayun.
Yeah. Yes. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning po. Sir, opo. Kasi sir, nasusubaybay namin kasi yung Universiad every year kasi yun nga. Napapansin po kasi paano po ba yung selection or paano ba ano ba yung requirements po para po makasali dun sa Universiad? Ano po ba to? Kailangan ba kayong kontakin ng school or kayo po yung mag-handpick? Ganun po ba yun?
Sa ganito yan, Gerard, no? Unang-una, pag organization, association, kailangan para makasali ka sa mga tournaments ng organization, membro ka, no? So, PESAP welcomes all universities, colleges and universities na magpa-member muna. Meron kaming one-time membership which is only 3,000 per school. So, membro ka na. With the 3,000 membership, marami kang sasalihang sports. Kung ano yung sinusulong ng Universiad na sports, na katulad din sa Olympics, yun din ang pwedeng salihan ng eskwelahan. Now, on the process, kung member ka na, ay dadaan ka rin sa isang qualifying tournament para kaya mas nakakasiguro tayo na ang participation natin ay hindi naman mediocre lang, kundi yung panlaban talaga. Na normally, ang requirement, you should be a champion of the sport where you will be representing. No? Yun lang. Very simple lang natin. Kahit ang level ng tournament ay hindi kalakasan, pero naging champion ka, you are already qualified to represent the country sa Universiad. No? So, ang PESAP ngayon welcomes all colleges and universities individually, no, to join, to participate. Ganun lang kasimple yan eh. But you have to contact me as the Executive Vice President. Ako rin ang chairman ng membership committee. The office is sa Binondo lang naman. So, easy here to contact at saka mas simple ang participation natin sa lahat ng sports na university games o Universiad. Yes. So, gusto ko rin sabihin na hopefully na yung nasimula namin na through the efforts also of Chairman Fernandez and Commissioner Ramon Fernandez with Chairman Ramirez, nagkaroon na ng suporta yung ating mga magagaling na mga laro na nanalo sa piso. Si Obiana nabigyan ng magandang suporta. So, ganoon din ang gusto kong maging encouragement para sa ibang colleges and universities na maraming estudyante na ngayon kung gusto makarating sa Universiad, minsan lang sa buhay yan eh. Kasi ang age requirement lang naman ng estudyante papasok sa Universiad is from 18 hanggang makatapos ka ng college. Beyond college, kung gusto mong sumali pa uli, kailangan mag-enroll ka uli sa masteral o sa doctoral para nga extended ang participation mo sa Universiad. So may age limit na silang inaano noon. Dati is from 18 years old to 28. Alam mo yung mga European countries habang tumatanda, nagkakaroon ng experience, mas gumagaling. Pero gusto nilang ibaba na sa age requirement ng makatapos ang estudyante hanggang yung baccalaureate degree program yon. So, in-extend pa nila ng another school o schooling tulad ng masteral at saka ng doctoral. So, ganoon lang kasimple ang requirements natin. So, kung sino man ang lalabas, kung makakapasok doon sa qualifying tournament, siya papadala natin sa Universiad. At ma-appreciate namin ng gusto kung makakatulong dito ngayon. Ang pagpapadala ng atleta, estudyante rin natin yan representing the country, Philippines, kung matutulungan ng PSC. So, yun ang pakiusap at yun lang ang prayers natin para tuloy-tuloy ang participation natin sa Universiad at marami tayong estudyanteng madedevelop makapunta sa world level tournament.
So yun ibig sabihin sir, ngayong taon na to medyo hindi pa sigurado itong Universiad dahil sa pandemya.
Meron na pag-usapan na sa Chengdu, China ang Universiad pero on hold muna gawa ng world pandemic. So, preparation natin, apektado rin. So, on hold, because we are following the protocol program ng IATF, no? So, mahirap Mahirap na magpapatuloy tayo ng maraming mga inobserban na protocol. So, pero tuloy ang natin, ang balak na sasali pa rin sa World Universiade.
Sir, meron na ba tayong list of sports na nakuha? Meron na ba kayong kopya o meron na kayo listahan ng mga events tsaka mga names na mga magpa-participate if ever na matuloy yung Universiade?
Sports na sasalihan natin, meron na, pero yung mga pangalan, hindi pa naman required na mag-submit na Pero meron ng form F2 at saka F3, kung tawagin yan, like requirement para 9 months before, 9 months before, dapat nasa kamay na ng organizer, ng organizing committee, para mapaghandaan nga. At saka meron na silang ni-release na plano na yung na-submit ng mga sports. In other words, you have to enroll the sports that you're going to join in the Universiade. Otherwise, kung wala doon sa listahan na na-enroll, hindi ka pwedeng sumali. Okay. Tulad niyan, basketball, mahirap pa tayong sumali doon, no? Kuha ng mga higante yung kalaban natin, mga professional din yung mga kalaban natin. Mga galing Yung mga naglaro sa Olympics, naglaro sa professional game. Alam mo naman ang Olympics ngayon, pati professional players nakapaglaro na. Yun ang mga kalaban natin. Kaya walang hope na ang basketball natin na isasali makakakuha ng medalya. So, sa ibang sports, pwede tayong makakuha ng medalya. Halimbawa, mga individual sports, archery, tawag dito, yung wushu, taekwondo, boxing, other sports na mas madaling makapamili tayo, pwede tayong sumali roon. At saka, kaya nga kinukumbida namin lahat mga colleges at university na may mga talento kayong inyong estudyante, isalin nyo pagdating sa yung tawag natin qualifying tournament. So, hopefully, yes, yun ang magiging magiging daan ng programa papuntang Universiade. Yes,
thank you very much po. Apo, thank you very much po, sir. Maraming pong salamat. Good morning po. Thank you, Boss Ernest.
Okay, thank you very much for those questions, Gerard. And now Sir Ron, may tanong pa kayo? Paabol, sir. Unmute po tayo, Sir Ron.
Yeah, kay Doc Calo. The last time I interviewed you was about maybe three years ago on radio.
Yes, yes.
This was about the Milo Little Olympics. Ano na po ang status ng event na yon? I understand that all face-to-face events of Milo are still suspended. Pero is there a chance that it will be the Milo Little Olympics will be revived in the near future?
Yes, sir. The last text that I received from the Milo executives, of course, we will continue the Milo Little Olympics program. However, ang support muna nila on a worldwide o nationwide basis para tuloy-tuloy ang tulong ng Milo drinks as an energy drink, no? So, sa palarong pambansa, tumulong na rin ang Nestle Philippines. Yung Milo drinks nakakatulong din sa kanya papalakas sa mga bata kasi yun ang nila ng advocacy. 2021, mga mid-year ng 2021, baka pwede ma-revive na ang Milo Little Olympics. Na tuloy na naman ang inaasam ng mga bata na sana mayroong Milo Little Olympics para mabigyan naman sila ng pagkakataon na ma-expose sa mga tournaments, lalo yung mga kabataan, na papuntang palarong pambansa at sa kabiyan palarong pambansa, meron silang pagkakataon mapili to represent their school at saka ng ang mga magulang dala ang kanilang pangalan nga'y makapasok sa kolehiyo na hanggat maaari libre kasi bibigyan ng scholarship ng university o ng kolehiyo ngayon may pagpapatuloy nila ang kanilang dream na pamamagitan ng Milo. Sabi nga, Milo would help reach early your dreams. Sabi nga. So hopefully Nestle Philippines will continue that program para sa mga bata.
Okay. Maraming salamat po, Doc Calo.
Thank you rin, Ron. Thank you. So, hopefully, meron isang pagkakataon na magkakausap din tayo. Uli sa programa mo, sa maganda mong programa.
Thank you. Wala pa rin akong programa ngayon because of pandemic.
Wala nga. Thank you. Si Danny yata, andyan, no? Si Danny.
Danny, kasama ko natin dito sa forum.
Looking forward to see him.
Okay, we turn the mic over now to Sir Ed Andaya.
Thank you again, Ernest. No? So bago tayo magpaalam, maybe we can ask our guests, si Com Chito and si Doc Calo for their parting remarks. Com Chito, your parting remarks, please.
Unmute po tayo, Sir Chito.
Sorry, talaga. First of all, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for inviting us and giving us this opportunity to be part of your show. I know these are unusual times, but rest assured, pag mag-normalize, mag-face-to-face ulit tayo. And I'd be more than willing to come again and see you guys and be a guest on your show. Na-miss ko na lang yung tanong ni Danny Simon, pero hindi bale, Danny, next time pwede ka ulit magtanong sa next opportunity. At sa mga nakikinig at sumusubaybay, maraming salamat. And to our baseball community, I just want to assure you that PABA is here doing its very best in promoting baseball in all ages, no? Whether it's the young kids or the weekend warriors, ika nga nila. And we're here to help you in any way. So yun lang, Pards. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Com Chito, and good luck to PABA. No? Doc Calo, your parting words, please.
Yes. Una-una, magpapasalamat ako sa iyo for hosting this event, being the president of CAPS, no? Maganda itong programa mo, congratulations. At saka magagaling yung mga nakumbida mo mga guests tulad ni Chito at saka yung Misha Fabian na naging representative natin sa Winter Universiad. At ganoon din gusto ko magpasalamat ng host ko kay Chairman Ramirez at saka kay Commissioner Mon Fernandez dun sa tulong na binigay nila. Shall I say, PSN dagat si Mon Fernandez, Commissioner, na sinuportahan yung golf championship na pinost ng Pilipinas under PISO program at yung magiging tulong pa sana sa PESAP ng PSC on the financial and other kind of support. So itong programa nyo ay pinasasalamatan ko dahil it's a way how we can reach out our friends, no, through virtual show. And of course gusto kong mag-welcome din sa colleges and universities na sumali kayo, pa-member kayo sa PESAP and through me as chairman ng membership committee para makasali tayo sa mga world o international championship. Okay? Member tayo ng ASEAN University Sports Council, ASEAN University Sports Education, at saka meron tayong sariling University Sports League na hino-host lagi ng Pilipinas. Ngayon naka-pending muna because of of pandemic, no? We are observing, of course, the protocol lagi. So, control mo na lahat. So, maraming salamat mga pagkakataon na binigay mo sa amin. And hopefully, I will continue, PESAP will continue supporting your program. Thank you.
Thank you again, Doc Calo, no? At salamat din kanina kay Misha at kay Coach Ronan, no? And again, on behalf of the officers and members of TAPS and our sponsors, the Philippine Sports Commission, the Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation, and the Games and Amusement Board, magpapasalamat ako sa mga panauhin natin ngayong umaga. At muli ay ini-invite namin kayo sa next edition ng TAPS Usapang Sports on Air next week. Thank you again.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you.
Diyan po nagtatapos ang ating weekly programa at abangan nyo po next week at mag-like po sa Facebook page natin para malaman nyo kung sino yung susunod natin mga panauhin. At we leave you with these simple words at the time like this is just to stay safe and God bless.